And that is why I asked you before, what can we do as a society, as individuals in a societal context to add value to the present situation? And one example throughout the conversation popped to mind is the person throwing a piece of paper on the road. Why are you throwing a piece of paper on the road? It's part of your responsibility to keep the environment clean. And then you mentioned the cleaner example as well. It's what we can do to make things better around us.
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't. There's loads of things that we can do. I think the first important pillar that we really need to start recognizing once again is the pillar of values. A society cannot function without values. It would be complete bedlam. It would be Sodom and Gomorrah. It would be a complete chaos, and that is what we risk, because values, community shared values, are not only those elements that are safeguarded by law and controlled by sanctioning, but values are important because they are fundamental in helping us to have a sort of a direction where the ship needs to go. This is like having a cruise liner. I'm sure some people would prefer to stay an extra night at this particular island. Others would say, listen, this island is not nice, I'd rather move on. But then there are certain values, there are certain rules that we agree to. You agree to trust your leader. You agree that the leader has to be a good and competent one. You need to agree that there are times that can't have your way, but you have to. So there are rules which are very important. So I think rules, but I think also rules based on values. I think our values are becoming something that we need to teach to people. When I hear my colleagues here at university saying that we teach values, we have a study unit on values, study unit on ethics. I mean, it's crazy. Because we had to tell me, listen, professional ethics is because there are some components which are important that you plug into your profession. So that I understand, But when we are talking about you teaching me values, you're teaching me what is right and wrong at the age of 22, 23, 24. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's already too late.
Because it's too late, and it shouldn't be done at any stage. We should learn because we live with each other. We should learn through play. We should learn through being in organizations and voluntary work. We should learn through school. We should learn through our interactions within the family. We should learn through our interactions with our siblings and our extended family. And it seems that a lot of that is not happening. Because why? Because we are obsessed with sending our children to the best ballet school, to thinking that I live in Melliha, but my son should be going to, or my daughter should be going to play football at Floriana because that is the best nursery. Then it isn't this scout group, but the one at the other end of the island because there's this particular. I mean, we create all these complicated situations which leave us less time to be with our children. We are not giving them enough time to absorb what they're doing. They're moving from one thing to another. So why is it that you have to send your child to ballet, to gymnastics, and to a sports activity? For what? I mean, come on.
I do have this conversation quite often with some parents.
Yes, parents think that, first of all, parents I think are influenced by other parents. And parents think that unless you send them to every bloody activity that there is in this world, it feels as if you are not fulfilling your duties.
And FOMO as well, and to some extent. FOMO as well, fear of missing out.
Yes. But and I think even the state needs to be careful. That's why I said that the state needs to have values. Let me give you an example. FES is a very important organization. I am in FES. I am part of FES, and I am in the board of FES, and I recognize that it does a lot of work. But how come you have children, who have kids who are there from 7 in the morning till 6, 7 at night. And it's not just because their parents have a long shift, because that I understand, because that is why you have these services. But if you are a mother, if you are a father, if you are a guardian, for fuck's sake, you have to realize that if there is time where you are at home, you don't leave him at Nana, you don't leave him at Afias, you don't leave him at a childcare, but you take your child and spend time with him, you spend time with her, spend time with them. You have an interest in their homework, you watch TV with them, you cook with them, you organize the table with them, you play with them, you cry with them, you listen to the stories with them. And I can't believe that we are at a stage where people have to work 12, 13 hours a day, every day, and we don't think that is a crisis, because there's that as well, that people, to keep up with the expenses, with the cost of living and all the difficulties that there are to pay your home loan, your rent, your bills, etc., might create that problem. But okay, that can be the case. But if that is the case, we also need to ask ourselves, but why is this happening? Why are we putting ourselves into, like this hamster wheel where we think that the more we walk, the more we still remain in the same place, as if it's always tomorrow that is going to be a better day. It's always tomorrow that's going to be a better day. Why isn't today a better day? Why isn't today a day where you can have some time for yourselves? Why have we created a situation for ourselves, an economy for ourselves, that does not allow that we have some breathing space? Unions have fought endlessly in this century and the century before this, to have an 8-hour shift, an 8-hour sleep and 8 hours of rest, free time. They have worked endlessly. Now you tell me, who is working 8 hours? Because I think nobody's working 8 hours. And it's ridiculous. And who is sleeping 8 hours? And nobody's sleeping 8 hours. And who is having time to go shopping, have a walk, spend time with your dog, with your children, go and have a coffee. It doesn't have to be every day, but it's crazy.